happens when you don't fight in prison? I remember I had this bunkie, her name was Co-Ed, and we was in Broward Correctional Institution. And we lived in D-Dorm next to a handicap room. And in that handicap room, a lot of fights used to go on. Anytime somebody wanted to fight, they'll go and they'll ask the person that lived in the handicap room, could they use the room to fight? And the reason they wanted to fight in the handicap room is because the handicap room is real spacious. It has to be big enough for the wheelchairs to get in and out. And some of the handicap rooms back in the days had showers in it. So it was real spacious. If you're going to fight in prison, you want to fight in an area that's very spacious. One day, Co-Ed, she had been living in the room with me about 2 weeks. She came to the room one day. She say, hey, man, this girl named Ron D, she keep coming at me about the phone. I say, did you sign the phone list? She was like, yeah, bro, I signed the phone list. But she keep coming at me about the phone, telling me I got to hurry up and get off the phone because she got to call her old lady at a certain time. So I told her, I said, okay, well, find out what time Ron D needs to call her old lady and just don't sign up for the phone around that time, because back in those days, we had to sign a phone law in order to use the phone, and we had 15 minutes per call. So she was like, nah, man, I ain't finna be working around these niggas, man. I ain't finna be working around these niggas, man. I said, okay, well, hand it the way that you want to hand it. Her and Ron D, the next day, they got into it. I'm walking up the hallway because I'm hearing all the commotion and everything, and everybody's standing around. I go in the phone room, my bunkie, Co-Ed, she knocked out. Now, me and Ron D, we cool and everything. We speak, and we have a mutual respect. She don't disrespect me, I don't disrespect her. We cool. So I see her knocked out and everything, and I'm like, oh my goodness. So I help her up, I bring her to the room. So I'm talking to her, and I'm like, man, what's going on? And she was like, well, man, she came at me about the phone again. I say, man, listen, you can't be doing your time like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? You young and everything. And I was young too, but I was learning the ropes like that. So I had told her, I say, now, I'm going to tell you something, man, and I ran it down to her like when I first got to prison, when I got to Lower Correction Institution, and I got tried. I told her how I handled it. I said, I fought, and I went to jail. I said, man, you might need to stand up for yourself and go ahead on and fight. Win, lose, or draw, man, just go ahead on and fight. Because you're going to have to show people that you ain't going to let them run over you. So she was like, nah, I'm good, man. I'm good, man. And I was like, what? Oh, man, you was just talking all that rah. But now you good. See, now you done let her put fear in you because she done knocked you out. She was like, nah, man, I'm good. She got life. She got a life sentence. I said, Ron D ain't got no life sentence. Ron D got a day. She going home, bro. So she was like, nah, I'm good. I ain't got but 5 years. I said, man, you going to do a long 5 years if you don't start standing up for yourself, bro. I'm telling you now. So she was like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to let it ride. That's her business. If that's how she want to handle it, then, hey, that's how that's how she chose to handle it. It's her situation. 2 days later, we in the chow hall. Some girls from another table walked up to her. She was like, hey, bro, you going to eat that hamburger? It's hamburger night. Now, everybody want the hamburger because you get pickles, lettuce, you get the onions, tomatoes. You get all that on hamburger night. That's the only time we get to get the tomatoes, man. So come on now, this hamburger night. So the girl walked up to her and said, hey, man, you going to eat that hamburger? She was like, yeah, let me eat my hamburger. So the girl looked at her and say, man, you all bark, no bite, bro. And she just took the hamburger off her tray. Because now she didn't have no respect for this cat, because she already saw that Ron D had done knocked her out and she didn't fight her back. She looked at the girl and she was like, hey. Like she was in a state of shock because this girl done took a hamburger. Then she just looked and she was like, and did like this right here, say, man, I ain't finna feed it. So she started eating the rest of her food. So now she was hanging out with these little girls and stuff, but they was in other dorms and stuff. So she went out there and she was talking to her girls and stuff, the little home girls that she was hanging out with, that they had got out of Arno and everything together. So she told them what went down. So eventually the girls started separating from her because they was like, man, this nigga doing her time. She like a softy. They wasn't on that right there. You ain't standing up for yourself. And, them girls wasn't about that. They figured they had time and they wasn't finna let nobody be running over them and running with somebody. They letting somebody run over them. So she came to me. She was like, hey, man, my dog, they acting funny and everything. And I said, well, because you won't stand up for yourself. I say, man, in here, you know what I'm saying? When you don't stand up for yourself, people gonna run over you. She was like, bro, they got long time. They say everybody in this prison got a long time. They ain't never going home. I say, well, you got a date, right? She was like, yeah, but they don't. I say, everybody don't have life in this prison. You in this prison, you don't have life. So what is you saying? She was like, nah, man, I'm going home. I got something to go home for. I said, everybody got something to go home for. If you scared, just say you scared. Later on that night, that evening, the sergeant came to the dorm. She called us out late for the canteen. Everybody coming from the canteen. The girl, you know, her family take care of her. So she had money. She had went and spent all her bank. Man, listen. Ron D walked up to her. Ron D said, hey, let me get that bag. She was like, dang, man, you know, I ain't got nothing in my locker. Ron D said, I ain't asked you about all that, bro. I said, let me get the bag. So she gave the whole bag to Ron D. So everybody looking, right? So, man, I'm talking about, she started losing all kind of respect. I'm talking about even the feminine girls didn't even want to be with her because they was looking at her like she was soft. So she came to the door and she was like pacing in the room, like doing like this right here. And I said, man, what you got going on, bro? She pacing around the room. So I don't know what's up with her. I don't know what's going on with her. I'm feeling like, hey, you know, you got some smoke with me, man. We can handle it because we in the same room. And so she just walking around the bed doing this right here. So I'm like, bro, listen. I jumped off my bed. I like, bro, listen. Don't be walking around me doing all that. What you got going on, man? Because, hey, she was like, nah, Tree man. She was about to cry. I'm tired of Ron D, man. She coming at me any kind of way, bro. She making me look soft in front of all these people, man. And I said, well, what done happened now? She was like, man, she just walked up and she just took my bag. I said, well, why you ain't stand up for yourself? She was like, nah, bro. You know I ain't with all that. And now let me tell you about Ron D. Ron D was real built. You talking about muscles. I'm talking about the girl lift weights. I'm talking about when I say she had some guns, I'm talking about girl was cut all up in here, man. Them things was sitting up. She ain't have no breasts. And like she had a chest like a boy. Like she used to walk around like a gorilla, like Hercules, bro. That boy was, that girl big. You hear what I'm saying? I ain't talking about big like fat. I'm talking about thick and big and muscular. So she was scared, man. She was just scared of the appearance of Ron D. So I was like, well, bro, you know what I'm saying? It's like this right here. If you don't stand up for yourself, they going to keep taking advantage of you. And she was like, well, Tree, what you do in this situation? I say, well, who? In that situation, boy, I'm going to just go ahead on and do what I got to do. She going to have to whoop me or I'm going to whoop her, bro. And I said, I don't care how I go down. I don't care what we got to fight with. Lock, sock, I don't care how I go down, bro. I'm going to fight. So she was like, man, go tell her I want to run one. And I was like, nah, you go tell her you want to run one. She was like, nah, Tree, go tell her I want to run one. I say, man, nah, I ain't getting in the middle of that, bro. Because I'm cool with Ron D and I'm cool with you. I'm just letting you know how I handle it. I'm not finna backtrack when you didn't hand it then to go tell her now you want to hand it all of a sudden. No, if you going to hand it, you should have handed it where it happened at. If she did it in front of people, you should have handed it in front of people. What you want to hand it behind closed doors for? You ain't getting no respect. You going to have to do that in front of everybody. So she was like, you know what, man? All right. But I say, listen, I'm going to tell you something. It already done happened. It's like this. Going forward, you need to start standing up for yourself. Ain't no use you trying to backtrack and go handle something that you already done let go, bro. I say 9 times out of 10, when people do that in here, it don't turn out good. She was like, nah, man, I'm tired of Ron D. I say, bro, listen, just let it go. Just let this one go. You tired, stay tired. And the next time she come at you, then handle your business. Because she going to come at you again. Somebody going to come at you again. She was like, man, nah. So she wouldn't let it go. She went out the dorm and she went down by the basketball court where Ron D was sitting down talking to a girlfriend. And she was like, Ron D, I want to run one. Now, that's when she made the first mistake, going up to Ron D saying she want to run one. Come on, man. You can't do that. You better walk up to Ron D and start, while she's sitting there, you better start taking it to her. You talking about you want to run one. You crazy. You can't alert that beast talking about you want to run one. Ron D got up, man. Ron D got up, picked up, slammed the dime, put them dummies on her. Bah, 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 bah. Man, when your girl got up, she looked like Elephant Man, bro. So They ain't go to jail or nothing. She came back to the dorm, the side of her face split. So she was like, man, nah, man. So Ron D came to the dorm. She was like, she said, hey, Tree. I said, what's up, man? She came up there, she say, hey, I don't want to disrespect you. She say, bro, I need to go to your room and holler at co-ed. And I say, Ron D, nah, not in my room. Whatever you want to do with co-ed, you're going to have to call her outside the room. She say, man, I ain't going to do nothing. I just want to tell her something. I said, because I don't want that heat ride me, bro. So she was like, nah, I just want to tell her something. I said, oh, you can stand to the door, but don't come in. So I went in my room and I sat on the bunk, and co-ed was over there by the sink and everything. And she was shook. She was scared. So I was in there and she was trembling and everything. I said, bro, I'm right here. You know, I wasn't going to jump in it because I'm mutual with both of them. But Ron D told her, hey, you're going to have to go down on the other side of the compound, because Ron D, you know, there's two sides of the compound. There's this side and that side down there. Ron D was like, man, you're going to have to some kind of way make your way to the other side of the compound. I don't want you on the same side of the compound with me. So she was like, man, whatever. And Ron D say, nigga, you heard what I said? Some kind of way you better make your way to the other side of the compound by tonight. Ron D walked out. You know, I ain't got nothing to do with that, bro. That's not my business. And I'm not jumping in all that, because she was very mouthy. It's a few times I wanted to jump off the bed and take it to her because she got all that mouth. But then I kind of sensed that she couldn't back it up because she ran her mouth too much. But so when Ron D left, she was like, Tree, man, what should I do? I say, I don't know. Go tell the officer you want to go to crisis. And when you get out, you know, they'll keep you overnight. When you get out of crisis, they'll probably put you on the other side of the compound. Just tell them you feel for your life on that side of the compound. You hearing voices, you seeing ghosts, and they'll put you on the other side of the compound. So she packed all the stuff up, went to crisis, stayed about 2 days, got out, they put on the other side of the compound. But man, you know, that's just what happens when you won't fight and stand up for yourself. In prison, people lose respect for you. They start taking advantage of you. They start walking all over you. They don't even want to walk around or be seen with you. They don't even want to be associated with you because they feel like your reputation going to diminish their reputation. That's just what happens when you won't fight back in prison. Now, some situations can be avoided. Some situations, they can go with a clean slate and you don't have to fight back. But it all depends on what you fighting about and what's the cause. Sometimes you can have a little argument and you can let that go and you good. But when somebody done hit you, knocked you out, split you, man, you better get up and do what you got to do. Win, lose, or draw. Don't just lay there. Fight back. Y'all be blessed now, you hear?